Hello everyone, welcome to my Visiting Every Wetherspoon YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at part 2 of how to use the Wetherspoon app, more specifically how to order food. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the Wetherspoon app. Once opened, it will then tell you whether you want to enable the location or whether you just want to browse all the pubs. If you click on the top left hand side of the screen, the 3 lines, that will come up with the main menu. We can then choose the Finder option, which then shows us a map of the UK. So if you just want to manually find your location rather than allowing your device to find where you are, then this is an option for you. You can then zoom in on the map of the UK, and as you go in, it then shows clusters of the Wetherspoon pubs in various regions and parts of the UK. If we go in even closer, it will then show you more pubs. Now you will notice that some of the Wetherspoon icons have got a little blue tick next to them. That's to show the pubs that I've been to, and I can show how you can select that option later on in the video. But we're going to go back one step and we're going to enable our location. Now the Wetherspoon app will ask you whether your device can pinpoint your location, so you just need to select allow. So once it's found your location, it will then show you where the nearest pubs are. So you can see that we visited the Joseph Conrad pub because it's got the blue tick next to it, but the ones that we haven't been to are obviously not ticked. So for the purposes of today, I'm going to select the Glass House in Norwich. Now it's going to ask us if we're in the pub, so it's important that you make sure that the pub you've selected is the actual one that you're in. When you've enabled the location, it will pinpoint exactly where you are. So if you're sitting in the pub, it should come up with the exact one that you're in. So then we click on the yes. Then talks about the track and trace. We can always say already completed, so we can ignore that if we've scanned the QR code as we've gone into the pub. Right, so this is the Glass House pub screen, and if we click on the little eye next to the Glass House, it comes up with information about the pub. So it gives you the contact details. If you click on that button, it will phone the pub. If we want to get directions, we can click on the Get Directions icon. It will then take you to your maps. For me, it's Google Maps, so we click on Google Maps and it will open up the map. Okay, so we click on Directions and it will obviously tell us the route that we need to take. Anyhow, for the purposes today, we're going to be ordering some food. I mentioned earlier on about the blue tick. If you visited the pub, you just click on the plus icon and then it says you've visited the pub. You can also deselect that option as well. It gives information about the pub so you can view more. And as you can see, the Glass House, it gives you some history and some information about the pub. And for every pub, it's got some information that is useful that you might be interested in. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to select this pub. So we can say yes, we're inside this pub. Now because it's obviously early in the morning, it will only let you select the breakfast items. So you can either search the menu, or you can select on breakfast, or you can select tea, coffee and soft drinks, or bar snacks. So what we're going to do is we're going to select breakfast. Now on here, once you click that menu, you'll go into various sub-menus, and you'll see you've got breakfast, breakfast deals, breakfast drinks, includes a drink, or breakfast extras. So we're actually going to order some things now. Now you see the blue heart at the top of the screen. They're kind of favourites foods that you have and meals, so that when you go into another Wetherspoon pub, you can select your favourites without having to scroll through a long list of items. So you can see here we've got the large breakfast, traditional breakfast, small breakfast, etc, etc, as we scroll through. And what we're going to do is just going to show you how you order. So if you click on the large breakfast, for example, it then asks you to select your table. So you can set the table now, or you can set it later on. But the purposes of today, we'll set it now. So table 10, let's select that one. And then we press continue, or you can press cancel. Now it's going to ask if we want any add-ons to our breakfast. So let's add an additional sausage, a couple of extra hash browns, and 2 extra slices of bacon. Then what you need to do is then add these items to your basket. Now let's say, for example, you wanted to order second large breakfast and you think, well, actually I've already selected that, so I can't select it again. Well, look, you can. So all we do is we click it again. If you want any add-on options, you can put them in, but we're just going to go straight to add to basket. Now you can see that it's got 2 items listed in there. We can also go to the vegetarian breakfast, for example, and we can, well, let's go to the vegan breakfast actually. That's a good example. Click on that one. We can ask for any add-ons. Now the unusual thing in here is obviously it just selects, you can select the same list of items. So obviously the vegans are not going to like ordering sausages or bacon. But anyway, that might be something that was overseen by Wetherspoon. So what we're going to do is we're going to add to basket our vegan breakfast. You can now see that we've got 3 items at the top right hand side of the screen that are in our basket. But we're now going to go and order some drinks. So we do the back button on your phone and then you select breakfast drinks. Now you can see here that it will give the out of stock items listed here as well. So for the purposes today, we're just going to select some orange juice. You can upgrade to a pint glass, so you can see it's £1.85 for a 398ml glass, or for a little bit extra, you can pay £2.10 for a pint glass. So let's do that. You can remove the ice, sorry. You can say no ice, and you can remove the fruit. Okay, then we can add it to our basket. It will then give us a summary of all of the items that we've ordered. So we can see there we've got 1 large breakfast with an additional sausage, additional 2 hash browns, and additional 2 slices of bacon. We've also got 1 large breakfast with no additional items and 1 vegan breakfast. You also see that we've got 1 orange juice with no ice and no fruit. And you can see that we've got table number 10 with a total of £17.93. Now, let's say, for example, that you wanted to order another orange juice. Rather than going back to the main menu, you can click on the edit button top right hand side of the screen. And then what you can do then is you can do the plus or minus button. So let's say we want 2 orange juices, let's put a plus there. So now you can see that we've got 2. And let's say, for example, that we didn't want to have 2 large breakfasts, we can take one of those off. So we press the minus button on one of the large breakfasts. And let's do the one where we haven't got the additional items. So we take that one off. Then we press the done button at the bottom of the screen. You can see now that it's updated our menu list, and all we need to do now is to proceed to the payment. So you can check the table number, check the top of the screen where it says the glass house to make sure you're in the right restaurant, and then click on the proceed to payment. It will then ask you to choose a payment method, and depending on what's set up on your phone will depend on which way that you want to pay. So you have Google Pay, PayPal, or pay with debit and credit card. Now obviously for the purposes of today, we're not actually sitting in the glass house, and if I was to order it, then someone would either get a special meal or it would get delivered to an empty table. I know people have done that before, just for a bit of fun. So just for now, we're going to press cancel, and hopefully that will have helped you in terms of ordering on the Wetherspoon app. As I mentioned earlier on, I think it's a great app, and particularly during COVID, means that we don't need to be going up to the bar to order our food. If you've got any questions, or maybe I haven't answered something within my video that would actually help you, please feel free to write your questions in, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. And if there's any other videos that you'd like me to do, please let me know too. Thanks for your time, hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time for part 3.